Hey everybody, it's Bust with Battles with Bust number 191, and today we're going to be doing battle with Rumble Vayne. And so this is our first battles with Vayne, new champion out of the Darkened Saga Domination set. And my testing with Vayne and what I think best describes Vayne, if you're going to go out there and start doing some brewing yourself, is we're not playing Vayne, right? We're not playing the physical card Vayne, we're playing the card Tumble. And then Vayne is what we get as the kind of side effect of generating these tumbles. And once you kind of like wrap your head around it in that fashion, it becomes a little bit easier to decide on the kind of decks that you want to play, right? If we're thinking in a very champion-centric mindset, you can say, oh, cool, Vayne levels up in the same way Misfortune does. I bet I want to just fit this into Scouts. Or you can say, oh, man, I played a deck like Poppy Tarek. That deck likes to attack a lot, and Vayne helps me attack a lot. These champions should go well together, and that's not necessarily the case, right? That's a very champion-centric way of thinking. The way we want to be thinking is, I'm playing the card Tumble, and I want to use Tumble. That means I need to be making one really good attacker and taking advantage of that singular attacker as much as I can. And so once we're in this mindset that we're taking advantage of Tumble and not so much Vayne, then we can kind of really expand this out into the kind of champions that are going to play well here. And so if we think of someone, say, like Kaisa, who wants to get multiple occasion reigns in, or if we think of someone like Udyr that wants to get multiple strikes in to generate with the stance swaps, these are all champions that should be working exceptionally well with Vayne. And so we want to have one really high-powered and strong attack that we're going to be making over and over again, right? If we're just attacking with some rando 3-3 or a 4-4 and our opponent blocks it, that's not a very good use of Tumble. But if we take a Rumble, discard all the cards to him, equip him with a Nox and Brass Knuckles, then we're talking about something that I'm pretty excited about attacking with multiple times in the same turn. And so this Rumble idea has been around for a few patches. It's always been really on the fringes, and it's been kind of popular in the normals, but it's not something that ever really crossed over into competitive play because it was just super inconsistent, right? You were playing 3 copies of Rumble. You didn't have any way to really give him overwhelm except for might. That's where the Nox and Brass Knuckles kind of came in, and the last patch is another way to give him overwhelm. But what do you do in these games to where you don't draw Rumble, right? Your deck basically just folded over. It was a pretty poor collection of cards that didn't have enough synergies to get it going. But with the release of the new set here, we have a couple of really high-powered synergies that all tie back into this Rumble and make him particularly strong. And so with that mindset in place, right, I want to be attacking a bunch of times with Rumble with these Nox and Brass Knuckles attached to it. Vayne ties into that very well, right? The Tumble can equip the Brass Knuckles for free and then give our Rumble an additional attack. That all sounds well and good. We picked up a new Reforged unit in the Rune Squire. We can use this to both generate discard fodder for Rumble and these Reforges that we don't want, and then we can also use it to give him Overwhelm if we want to use that in terms of the minor Reforge equipment, or if we want to use that in terms of putting down the Riven Sword. It gives us a couple of additional ways to get this Rumble up and ready. And then the last one we picked up here is going to be Legionary Charge. This is a card that lets us draw an ally with 5+ power. And hey, guess what? If the only 5+ power allies in our deck are Rumble, then we're going to be guaranteed to draw him. And so this just helps us set up all these really powerful and strong sequences as to where we're able to draw our Rumble consistently because we sort of have 6 copies of him in our deck. We have lots of ways to get him attacking over and over again, and just a really, really nice kind of big value package that can kind of come together and take down these games over the course of 3 attacks, right? Twice on one turn, one on the next, and you're pretty well set. And so the remainder of the cards in this deck are all built up to tie into these themes. We're playing the full collection of Reforged units. We have the Squires, the Runeweavers, the Squire, and the Runeweaver. We have the Hookmasters as another additional strong early game play, and then the Ruined Reckoner is another means to give us more free attacks. So we have 5 cards in here giving us free attacks between the Vaynes and the Ruined Reckoner, and then of course the big combos in here is going to be Rumble plus the Great Hammers, giving him the Overwhelm, lets him punch through all that damage attack after attack. All the remaining cards in this deck are really just centered on ensuring this Rumble works through combat. And so we have the likes of Elixir of Wraths, another copy of Might, and a couple of riposts to boost him in the middle of combat. And then we have a handful of defensive cards, just in the event that he's going to have to battle multiple times, or if he has to block, we have something like the Shield of Durandi to give him a little bit of bonus health. And then the riposts, which are good on both offense and defense. And so this is it. That's what we're going to be doing battle with today. But you all know what we have to do before the battles begin. We have to go and pay the pay-to-win price. And I'm not sure what it is at this point. It's probably like the, what's your name? Oh, the Great Hammers. That's a good one. Well, this is a real disappointment, right? This is kind of a bummer in terms of Legends of Runeterra. You don't actually get to see the equipment on your units, right? You put the equipment on it and then it just kind of disappears into the void. And so it's not as good as I was hoping for. You know, it's not like putting a unit on the board as a premium, but I hope that the God, I can't remember that. It's Nox and Brass Knuckles to me for the remainder of time. But I hope that gets us into battle good and well. All right. This is kind of tough. Like, I couldn't decide if I really wanted to go down this route of playing Rumble for this video, since we did play all the Reforges in the previous one. But I do kind of have in my head that we might just bring this into the next video as well. I need to make sure that we get a Seraphine video done. And in my thinking and thoughts and brew time with Seraphine, it was like, well, we could come out here and just play a... just play all of the Reforged units, and then these Reforges are all different spells, right? See, it's Glinting, it's Heavy, it's Keen, and then Blade of the Exile. We could just go ahead and use all of these as our way to level up Seraphine. And then just try to find a way to come out here and be really aggressive with the Seraphine deck, and then just have her be the top end in the deck. And so that's what I'm kind of like brewing around in my brain piece right now. That's probably what we'll be bringing in our next video to you, unless I decide to come out and play some Gauntlet. But we'll see. We'll see. So here up against Annie Jin, we have a couple of things going for us here. We have this good hook into Annie next turn with the Rune Squire. I'm going to be quite happy to come in and try and take that down. And then with this, as long as we just don't die, we should be pretty okay. And so that's why I put the block 4th in front of Annie. Yes, that's not a super great trade, but it gives us the opportunity to... just prevent that damage, and then once we get Rumble going, that's how we're going to actually be able to close out this game. Now, with this turn, in terms of our sequencing, opponent plays like a lot of stuns here. I don't want him dropping a stun onto our Rune Squire, because we want to take the Squire into Annie. And so if he's going to play the Sunburst Bird stun, then I want to have the Blade Squire be what takes it, and then if he's going to play just say like a stun Spider, then we want that to be his like first unit for the round. I want to maximize my chances of getting this Rune Squire into combat with Annie. So here I'm looking to get our Rumble set up. We need to bank 1 mana into the next turn if we want to get this Legionary Charge off plus Rumble. And we shouldn't have too much trouble with that. We can look to play a Whirling Death in this combat, and then we'll bank the 1 mana. Next turn we'll have the 5 mana plus a spell mana for the charge into Rumble.
Carry your own gear.
Right, nice little damage prevent. Opponent's down to just Jin and 1 more card. Seems like we're in a decent enough spot. Going to be fairly challenging for them to deal relevant amounts of damage. Just the downside with this is we don't have the mana to overwhelm our Rumble at this point, and so we can't deal like maximum damage with him. But I think it's okay. One problem at a time. So here I want to hang on to our Overwhelm fragment, so I'm just going to get rid of all of the other ones. Not building up to the Riven Sword this game. And then we'll look to OTK him on the next turn when we get to attack with a Tumble and the Fragment and a Riposte and everything. Try and get the takedown there. Okay.
Adjustments.
Demons.
Let's see. We could lead off with the Vayne. I feel like
I am frightened.
that's always a rough combo. I was gonna say I feel like she's like able to block the Sunhawk if he tries to come in here, but we're just stuck in damage prevent mode now. Oh my god, he's gonna have a third stun. Oh, the Jhin. 8, 10, 11. We fall to 1. Nope, he's got us for exacties. Man, we prevented maximum damage this game as well. Well, as they say, it is what it is. Okay, think on think on it harder, dude. You push him in the middle and it says 17, and then you pull him back. Good job. All right, on to the next one. That's tough. That's tough, especially when we could have reworked that a little bit to be a little more aggressive onto his units, right? We didn't have to play the Rumble in that turn. We could have played. Well, it's probably for the best just to add the Rumble there. That's tough. We didn't have the Rune Squire. We drew the Rune Squire on the turn we got killed. Okay, but here, reasonable enough start. I'm going to get rid of the Great Hammers. I was going to say, I feel like we have enough just kind of early game here to not really need it at this point, and I want to have just a little bit more interactivity. I don't want to be fully in OTK mode here right from the start. Maybe we should be, given that we're playing against Seraphine, but that's tough. It's probably we should probably just be never mulliganing that away if we already have access to.
You know how it is.
If we already have access to Rumble. All right, not a particularly exciting collection of abilities. Let's just pick up the quick attack one. I don't think we'll ever really be using tough here.
This is just
Quick attack also works nicely with these cataclysms. Then, one thing I didn't mention, it can be kind of nice that Rumble flips into reasonable spells, right? He flips into Flame Spitter. And so you could imagine a lot of times to where this Legionary Charge would just be dead, you know, if we've already drawn our Rumble. But turning it into an expensive combat trick isn't the worst thing in the world to have happening. And so I'm not opposed to like the feels bad moments with all these Legionary Charges. But on this turn, what are we going to get going? I want to discard Quick Attack and I want to discard Whirling Death. We have to hang on to the Might. We're not going to use it for 2 turns, but we need to have an Overwhelm. And then we probably just discard the Legionary Charge at the end.
here comes a new challenger.
I mean, yeah, we're set up with the Might for next round. We're good. We will be mighting and cataclysming. Says, oh shit, Bust coming at me hard. He bringing them aggroes in ways I've never seen. All right, Seraphine on board. Do we ever want to just go after her first? I don't think so. Right, she is a particularly strong block onto our Runeweavers and the like, but I think I'm a little bit happier just to have like Seraphine block our Hookmaster, and then we can send Rumble into her again later. Ooh, the hammers. Not going for the hammers. I want to have this open attack. You say enjoy. Have fun with that, friend. Have fun with that. Uh-oh, he's playing cards. It was a fast one. I don't think we care about any of the fast cards. Right, we're worried about things like quicksand. Quicksand isn't a big deal here. All right, let's boom. We want to send this into the action. He's the one that's about to flip here. think that's okay. Seraphine's not doing anything for a while. Time trick. Scoff. GG. Got him. Powerful stuff. So you can see there why the overwhelms are so important, and that's why I was kind of like, probably shouldn't have discarded the hammers once we had access to our rumble. If we're making that turn without an overwhelm, then we're just kind of screwed, right? We do get to flip our rumble and kill a bunch of his stuff probably, but that chance for an OTK just isn't there. What are these? What are these dumb champions? I can't even fucking tell what these portraits are. Is that Nocturne? Arcade Nocturne? Is that what that is? And some weirdo Diana? Alright, I guess we're playing against Nightfall. So let's hang on to a Vayne, hang on to a Runeweaver. I was going to say, ideally, we're going to have units that can block Fearsomes. I'm not entirely certain what to expect out of the Nightfall deck these days, but I feel like Vayne should be pretty good against it, and then Runeweaver is going to always be good against it, given that she's a good blocker against any of the Fearsomes. Does die to Unspeakable Horror, but we still just like always want it in the early game.
These hands know metal and magic.
All right, ready for battle.
Approach, savage. Tis written.
So one of the kind of fun things with Vayne is she does generate Tumble, right? We don't just have to sit on these Tumbles all the time. We can discard the Tumble to the Rumble, and then we'll just generate a new one on the next turn. And so we don't have to worry about losing out on these Tumbles as long as Vayne is still alive. So we can go into our next turn, discard the Tumble for free, and then we'll get a new one on the next go around for our Rumble. So, like, I'm a little worried here just because he has this Diana on board and I don't want to lose our Rumble. I'm just going to start to pass. We're not at any, like, real threat of dying here, but if he does some, like, nasty Nightfall stuff with Diana, I don't want to be losing our Rumble. I mean, we could arguably just play the Ruined Reckoner, but I don't think we want to be losing him here. So we're taking 7 out of this. It's not the end of the world. Okay, so we're going to have to do this the same way we did last time with the Overwhelm. Do we want to actually discard the Tumble, though? Like, next turn we have 5 mana. We could look to Cataclysm, Tumble, and Overwhelm Fragment. If we discard Condemn, I guess if we discard Vayne, Quick Attack, and Ruined Reckoner. I think I'm on board with this. So Vayne, Quick Attack, Ruined Reckoner.
Locked and loaded. Working as intended.
Locked and loaded, bro. Alright, let's see how it goes. Burn, baby, burn. Getting nasty in here. And then, of course, the really sweet thing about all of this is as we cycle into the next turn, right? Opponent's at 15. We're pretty far away from getting kills here. He's going to start blocking and we may not get it. But what are we going to do? We're going to generate another Tumble next turn. So we can just start sending Rumble at the opponent's face, and this time with the Great Hammers attached. So I'm actually feeling pretty good about what's happening here. Even though it didn't play out in the exact sequence that we expected. Vayne's going to be flipping on this turn as well. Give us that 0 mana Tumble next turn. I don't know how you feel about it, but I put it in my dictionary under pretty fucking cool. Right in the dictionary. It's in the P's. P's for pretty. Pretty fucking cool is what's happening there. Oh shit. I forgot we got the hammers. Oh man. We should have just tumbled this shit into play. We should have done that for our initial attack. Oh, we fucked that up. Sad day for Vayne. I think we're still good here. I think we're just gonna get the lethal now, but we definitely should have tumbled first to put the knuckles onto Rumble and then made the normal attack so that we would get that extra 2 damage in. But this game's done. Go us. We did it. If you're new here with the new set, we are the best player in the world according to FTPbus.com. And so if you're curious about any of our plays ever being wrong, then you're the wrong one, because everything we do is always right when you're the best player in the world. So if there's no other reason to go and register your own domain, have your own piece of the internet, your own www.creedthoughts.gov, is to is to allow you to say stuff like that. Feels pretty good. Can't call it fake news because it's on the internet. So all right, good stuff. What do we got here? Vayne and Gwen. This deck, I'm not like real impressed with it, but it does fit that mold of what I've been saying, right? As to where it's you can use the Vayne tumbles onto Gwen, and getting that singular attack with Gwen is good enough, even if it's getting, you know, kind of tied in with that little landmark that comes on the board. But right, it just doesn't play out that well when we're trying to go for width, but it does have opportunities in terms of attacking with Gwen over and over again. Alright, so we've got a couple of options for this next round, either the Squire or the Vayne. I'm leaning towards just Vayne because she's a good blocker against the Fearsomes. Like, there's a decent chance we just shouldn't even be attacking here. Let's see what opponent plays. If he doesn't play anything, then we'll attack, but I think it's reasonable to kind of like slow our roll and then build up to this Rumble. I was hoping to get a little bit of chip damage in, right? We need like a lot of combat tricks if we're not getting little points of chip damage, but I think this is still okay. This is like a fairly survivable attack, but this deck's really good at just like blowing you up with Gwen. And so I think we probably want to hang on to our Squire. He can't block anyways without the Elixir, but that lets us move into getting Rumble down next turn. We'll have a free Tumble. I think, wow, now that I'm kind of like looking at this again, if we just kept Vayne on the board, we could have gone down to a 1-mana Tumble. Like we play the Rumble here, then we could have gotten 3 attacks the next turn, right? We have the Overwhelm Fragment and the Elixir. I think we're going to have to try and win this on our opponent's attack token. So with that in mind, I'm not excited about discarding a lot of this stuff. So let's just add the Rune Squire. We'll bank up to 3. Then gives us a fresh card to discard that we don't want. Okay. So I don't think we're playing Vayne. Like, it's a free one with the Legionnaire, the Vayne, and then the +2 attack. I think that's where we're at. We're going to hang on to the Tumble.
Here comes a new challenger.
The next turn, we'll get to attack twice with Overwhelm with the Ruined Reckoner and the Tumble. I think this is safe. It feels like a lot better when we have this riposte to try and shut down a lot of his potential combats. Beautiful. Okay. I think we're good. Get wrecked.
Hit that red line.
Get wrecked. All right, we're one short of the lethal. We could have. I feel like we could have done all of this better, but you know, it's learning moments out here. Drop some of them emotes. Work it. GG. All right, not bad, not bad.
Come on, I wasn't even holding the controls.
Feels good playing Noxus, man. I don't know the last time we were able to play Noxus. We were out here playing dumb decks like Poppy Tarek. Spend the past month playing shit like Poppy Tarek. It's like, nah, man. When I was kind of like assembling and practicing with this, I was just like, I would really like to add Legion Rearguard to this deck. I know it's not necessary, but that's always the first thing that comes to mind for me is like, how do we just fit a Legion Rearguard in here? All right, reasonable enough curve. We don't have any of our really high-powered stuff. We don't have our rumbles. Excuse me. Speaking of the devil, though.
It's my time.
Feels good. Feels good. I don't know if people just don't realize how good RuneSquire is these days. I'm not a memer. Well, take that back. I am a bit of a memer, but not in terms of the RuneSquire. I think he's just incredibly powerful. Rumble's here, ready to party. Oh, dude, you're getting worked over. What are you doing, Zack and Cheese? Uh-oh. This can't be good. We ever lose our Rumble here? Like, let's just pass. Let's see what he does. I don't want him to play like a chain of corruption and then have that come in and take down our Rumble. Now we're completely safe. This is not a problem now, but could have been otherwise. We have our Overwhelm fragment. We want to hang on to it. Let's get rid of the fragment. The physical spell Condemn. This isn't our Vayne. We'll keep Vayne in hand, and then we'll get rid of... Oh, hang on. We have this... Yeah, we can keep Rumble. I think I'd rather have the
Baby, don't fail me now. Come on, baby.
Flame Chompers, whatever it's called. Flame Spitter. We can come down and drop it right now. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that, bro. What are you gonna do with this Zack and Cheese? Just get murdered? That's what it looks like's happening. Just getting murdered outright. Uh-oh. Is he gonna have enough combat tricks? Are we gonna have to slow our roll on this stuff? We just assumed this game was done. Zack and Cheese bringing the heat in here on us. Oh man. That's not awesome. I was definitely hoping that would be a little bit more awesome.
Let us see if you are worthy.
All right, well, we should get to clear his board here, right? This is still a must block onto our Runeweaver with the Tumble, and then we're going to have the Condemn to shoot whoever he doesn't block.
Show me your skill.
Okay.
Jack said there'd be contenders out here.
Oh, hang on. Pick an ally, pick an enemy. There we go. So we're still in a pretty decent spot. Turns out Vayne generates a Tumble every turn of the game, and so opponent's going to have to deal with this, right? Especially if we hit Overwhelm on the Hookmaster. We're very close to just outright winning the game. Got lots of good things going on here. What do we got? We didn't find it, but quick attack is quite good. We get this quick attack in, kill his unit, and then we're in the space to open attack next turn.
Every last monster will be purged.
Get him. Get that Vayne flip happening.
Fish meat face.
Uh-oh, more tricks? Can't say I approve of that. Alright though, we'll keep at it. No giving up today.
Purified balls.
Hook, line, and sucker.
You shouldn't have the means to, like, just kill our Vayne. I don't think we need to be dropping the fix-em-ups to try and get ourselves out of this. It's like, I guess maybe we should. It just feels pretty bad if we put the fix-em-up down, and then he's got a bounce spell. This is getting worse and worse. Zack and Cheese, this was supposed to be so easy for us. We didn't have any defensives. We're all go. No, all front, no back. No dumpster on this. All right, just give us another rumble. That's not it. Uh-oh.
If I had your power, they would have to listen. They will, if you follow.
I'm scared now. Zack and Cheese might have bested us.
The arrow of retribution will find its mark. There's a price to pay.
Alright, maybe we should have played the fix him up. I was just kind of thinking it's like he gets the opportunities to like pick and choose where he blocks if we drop this. Didn't we already play you? Oh, you can get a second impact with this. Thanks.
Let's turn up the heat. Full throttle. See how I will rule.
Are we gonna? Did we mess this up again? I was like, yeah, I don't need to play the fix 'em up. I haven't learned my lesson yet. I haven't learned it yet. Apparently, I need to learn that lesson. We just got it taught. We got taught that lesson like 4 times this game. Okay, all right. Lesson learned. I'm gonna write it down in the mental brain piece. It's okay to equip the weapon before you send your attacks in. Got it. That's what we're here for. I hope you all are getting your learning moments in as well. When this situation comes up for you, you're going to say, "Oh, I saw Bust get worked over because he didn't feel the need to play his weapon." I won't make that mistake. But here, we'll mulligan all that stuff away. We need to find some early game stuff to do. I'm not really excited about playing like a Vayne into a Rumble, just like turn 3, turn 4. I really want to have some of these early plays make our opponent react to our boards a little bit, instead of just letting their game plan run all willy-nilly. It's a little bit better.
I'm cold, I'm hungry, and there's rocks in me boots.
Okay, not going to open. I'll add the Hookmaster. Their typical play here is going to be Mountain Goat, and I think we deal with him reasonably well. Go ahead and pick up our free Overwhelm equipment. Hey, look, it's a Mountain Goat.
Some action.
Got it.
Monsters still lurk in Demasia's every shadow.
Ooh, that's scary. Boosting up the Vayne, huh? So what are we gonna do here? It's just like a little bit awkward in terms of what we're able to add to the board. We just need like one more mana for everything to happen. It's like I'd kind of like to tumble this turn just as a means to activating the condemn. But if we come in and activate the condemn, we're like a little bit short on our good cards coming out and popping off. So let's at least just start with this Blade Squire. He's always attacking. I don't think he ever blocks. And then we'll have the opportunity to tumble it a little bit later. I mean, I guess the other angle we can take here is we can see how much mana this guy spends, and then we can tumble our Vayne, and then look to condemn whatever blocks her. The scary thing with that is if he has a Sharp Sight. But we do well against every combat trick that isn't Sharp Sight, and we have an Elixir of Wrath in hand should we need it. So I think this is safe. So let's tumble Vayne. She's the big one. We're going to get to put the Fish Whack on her. This will be our second attack for the turn, so the condemn happens. And then if it does happen to where we have to Elixir of Wrath, it's okay. We still get to send in all of this attack damage. So that's too much for me, Bust. I'll take it. Okay, this is the actual scary unit in the Saga Seeker. We can let him keep Vayne. It does, suck that it makes his tumble cost one less, but that's like he's already got the tumble. He's got the power. I don't think that 1 mana is going to make the huge difference in this game, to where that other dum-dum just sitting around and growing is going to cause us some problems. So I'd like to stay away from that. Pantheon is a little awkward. What happens if we just pass? That's kind of what I'm leaning towards here. Like, if he sends it back to us, I don't think it's the end of the world. Okay, I do like the idea of him losing out on mana, though. Because now we can come back and protect ourselves with this Whirling Death. Right, he's got a barrier. That's really hard to see right now, but I assure you Pantheon has barrier. So let's just go ahead and take the block, and then we'll tumble Vayne in after this combat. Can protect with the Whirling Death. Takes it. Bold.
Say your prayers.
Should be safe. Even a +1 heal. Ugh, gross. I'm gonna say even a +1 heal won't stop this. Nothing we can do about the condemn though. Oh, that's gross. We block the Pantheon because he's the kind of scary unit. We don't want to block Vayne and then send Whirling Death at Vayne because then we lose our unit. Gross. Alright, Rumble, do your thing. Ooh. Can he just kill us with Tumble at this point? He can tumble onto Pantheon and then we'll just die? Fuck me. What a brutal turn. Let's see if he doesn't realize it. We're just like 1 mana short of being able to Cataclysm stuff as well. Oh, this is a pain in the ass.
Locked and loaded. Working as intended.
So probably dead. But let's give him the opportunity to fuck up. Maybe he'll try to get too clever here. Won't just immediately tumble the Pantheon. Give us a shot to come out and win this one. I mean, we don't even really win with the hammers, right? He has a 5 toughness block onto our Rumble. Okay. Whew, that's tough. It's just like the... I guess like they do have opportunities outside of that. No, it's just that that 1 mana removal spell is too much to play around. We gotta get that in our heads that the condemn exists. All right, some kind of Sun Disk deck. I have been interested in our usage of Vayne with Renekton, right? Renekton does a lot of the similar things that Rumble does, has these really big, high-powered, overwhelming attacks, and then he also has the opportunities to say we like Ruthless Predator an opposing unit, and then he's going to get +4 attack, right? 2 from the Predator, 2 from his normal attack, and then we get to tumble him into combat again with all those bonus stats. That was one of the things I was kind of considering to bringing to the video today, but I went with the Rumble since we haven't been playing OTK Rumble here recently.
I'll show the hunters.
All right, I'm gonna need you to do something to kill some of our units, please. I want to discard these fragments and not discard real cards.
To serve the greater good.
Okay.
Monsters still lurk in Demasia's every shadow.
This has to just, like, what we're playing has to just be a nightmare matchup for the Sundisk. I can't imagine they have a ton of ways to stop what we're doing here. Is this the double damage obliterate thing? And, well, it's like, I was actually more worried about him putting it onto a Blade Squire and keeping us from getting the fragment. Doesn't seem to be what he's interested in. Alright. We don't have to play Rumble this turn, though. We can play Rumble next turn. See if we get some good discards along the way. Nope.
Here comes a new challenger.
Right, well, reasonable enough start. We can double attack next turn. So, hopefully this will be enough to carry us along until then. This is one of these dumb decks that plays Quicksand. He could have like a Quicksand and then a way to remove our Rumble, but the removal spell here would kind of involve killing off the Sundisk. And so I don't think that's really on an opponent's playbook here.
He's with us, right?
I think, well, we probably just want to bring it all, right? The thing I'm starting to think is like, well, is he going to be able to hook in our Rumble next turn with the Renekton? And if he does, can we still win the game at that point? And we can still win the game. We have like the Overwhelm Punchers back in hand. We have a bunch of free attacks. Like, we can definitely do it. And so that makes me want to put the Rune Weaver in. It gives us an opportunity just to punch in a little bit more damage. Whirling Death is huge. Should solve all of our problems. He can never write a negation for Whirling Death, but I don't think it'll matter. Right? If he's playing like a Ruthless Predator onto Renekton and then Whirling Deathing, we've just like won the game at that point. But let's play this Ruined Reckoner first. The idea with this, something goes wrong with Rumble and we lose out on the punchers in the middle of combat, we want the punchers to come in for free when we tumble. And so I want to start off with the Midnight Raid, and then we'll come back to the tumble as our secondary means of winning the game.
Burn, baby, burn.
Uh-oh. Is he gonna quicksand it as well? It's not bad, dude. It's not a bad collection of cards. Why does our Rumble... Oh, he has the... It's the equipment, right? So the equipment doesn't get quicksanded out. Beautiful. Thank you, attachments. GG. All right. Nice little thing to remember. God, makes it even worse. Makes that quicksand even like less worse. I was like, oh fuck, we've just completely lost this game. And then how are we how are we gonna win with this tumble? Oh yeah, it doesn't matter. Didn't matter at all. All right, the final battle. Let's get in there. See how it goes. Feeling pretty good. Pretty good. Sorry y'all didn't get to watch the movie on that one. All right, so what do we got here? Let's get rid of this Whirling Death. I'm happy enough with the rest of our cheap bros. See if we can't pick up something useful. Rumble, you're useful. I'll give you that.
I hope that was mud.
I hope that was mud. I love this guy. He's out here making poop jokes all the time. He's had a rough go at it, but his life got a little bit easier with Rune Squire. If you listen to the Rune Squire voice lines, he's happy to be out of the mud. No more duty-related problems for him.
Carry your own gear.
All right, we'll let him go ahead and pick up the gem. That does give like some awkward sequences on this next turn to where he can gem and then play a card, but I think this is okay in terms of just like getting that mountain goat off of the board and not having to come into this turn and be like, oh fuck, he had a sharp sight. And so I guess if he had a sharp sight, he probably just wouldn't be attacking there. Surprised he didn't gem first, but I think this is good for us. Let's have a sharp sight. Well, there you have it. Not the way I was expecting it. Came out of like the right side of his hand, so he didn't just draw it, right? The new cards go to the left side of your hand. Interesting. Was this? The Aegeus. Okay, well, we're going to get Rumble on board. I don't think we have to worry about anything at this point, and he may not attack with the Saga Seeker, or it may get him to just add the gem this round. So we can get rid of something. Like, I'm definitely getting rid of Quick Attack and +2 attack. I don't think we need 3 rally-based cards, though. And so I think we should just get rid of the most expensive one in the Ruined Reckoner. Right, because now if we go into next turn with 1 mana banked, we can Might, Rumble, and then Cataclysm, and then on the following turn we still have the Overwhelm Fragment if we need it. So, Quick Attack, 2 attack, Ruined Reckoner. Out of here.
Turn up the heat. Working as intended.
It should be safe though, right? I don't think there's any, like, the 2 mana give challenger thing isn't going to be in these factions. I guess he could play Confront. People play Confront anymore? I don't think so. All right, I'm going to go ahead and take the block, take the damage off of the Saga Seeker. So if we come into our next turn and he gets to block with both dudes, then he's already lost out on those points of health.
Need a light?
Are you the one?
Okay. Tough bro, doing tough things.
Aatrox, where are you?
Get that challenger off the board. We're in a really bad spot if we lose our Rumble, and so it doesn't deal maximum damage this way, right? Hitting tough units is not ideal, but you know, if this Rumble goes, we're just going to be playing off the top until we can draw another one. And we got these sweet-ass Mecha Yordles as well.
You aren't what you've lost.
GG. Got him. He hit that top right real quick. So not bad, not bad. Not a bad set of games. I think that showcased what I was talking about with Vayne quite nicely, and especially in a way that's kind of new, right? We're not running around with Pantheon or something that's been seen for the past 6 months. It's a kind of fresh take. It was a fringe deck before, but definitely has a lot of real power now, especially as, like, I know we haven't been seeing a lot of Nami, but when the defensive answers to Ionia all cost like 4 mana. It is pretty strong having these spell shields and having a lot of this really high-powered OTK potential. And so I think the Rumble is actually, quite strong. As you come out and say, like, okay, Bust, I hear what you're saying. I want to play these high-powered units that are getting really good strikes in. I want to be using Udyrs and Kaisas and stuff. Having that spell shield is quite strong as a means of protecting our unit from whatever our opponent's trying to do, right? We don't have to play barrier cards. We don't have to play other spell shield cards. Just Rumble naturally having it is quite strong. And so, it's pretty powerful stuff. This was a good set of games. We lost to Annie Jen in a real close barn burner. We lost to that Vayne and to Condemn as the other one. And so that was kind of tough. And then we lost the game to where we couldn't figure out how to put an equipment on our unit so it didn't die to combat tricks. And so I'm pretty happy with our performance and how this turned out. I think this is a powerful deck in the upcoming meta, and it gives you a good starting point in thinking about Vayne, right? You don't want to think of Vayne in terms of, hey, let's put this in Scouts, hey, let's put this in some kind of go wide deck. You want to kind of flip that thought and say, okay, I'm playing Tumble. And the other side of Tumble is Vayne. And how do we take advantage of these Tumbles? What kind of deck really wants to be using Tumble? And that's nothing like Scouts. Scouts doesn't want to deal with that. You want stuff like this with Rumble, Udyr, Kaisa, even Action's fine. Sivir would be great. Just not any of these kind of things. And so I will say I didn't think that in the Vayne collection of cards, there is that new 2/3 unit that when it attacks, your equipped allies get +1/+1. That's the kind of thing you're wanting to use if you're going wide. But like I don't think it's worthwhile to just sit around and boost the entirety of your board when you could win the game, right? which angle should we probably take today? Do we want to take the one that just wins the game, or do we want to make our board bigger and hopefully win the game? Let's just scratch that hopefully out of the sentence and play the one that just outright wins the game. And so, pretty good deck. I had fun with it. I hope you had fun with it too, because that is going to do it for us today. And so I hope everyone enjoyed the video. I hope you get multiple attacks in, and they're all overwhelming. Hope you maybe learned a thing or two along the way and had a good time watching. This is Bust, and we thank you for being here.